What's up, everybody? Welcome to the state of Virginia. Today we're going to be touring Martinsville. Beautiful area of the country, mountainous, but a town that's losing population. This is Jose. Welcome to Southern Life.
And I'm Katie.
Catherine the Great behind the wheel.
Katie!
Catherine the Great.
Katie!
Catherine the Great.
Katie!
Catherine the Great.
My name is Katie.
Catherine the Great. Behind
Katie.
the wheel.
Yeah.
We're heading north. We just entered Virginia from North Carolina. We're going to drive through this town and try to understand why this town had more people living in it in the 1940s than it does today. The Commonwealth of Virginia, you know, south of here, south of Appalachia, towns are growing. Greensville, Greensboro. Why, when you enter Appalachia, are towns in decline? Many people say that it was the coal jobs that left. We're still in the United States of America. West Virginia is a poor state. Virginia is a better state. But this part of Virginia is more in common with West Virginia than with, well, the more prosperous eastern part of the state. Why would a state like this exist? And when I mean state, I'm not referring to the physical state, I'm referring to the condition. The state of this town. Why would a town have more people in the 1940s than it does today? Why did so many people that are from here leave? You know, when the people that are from a place leave a town at such a large scale, it means they think there's nothing there for them. I have found that the towns that have declining populations sometimes are just the type of place, if the people that are from there left, why would somebody that's not from there be there? It looks beautiful. The houses look great. On the left, you can see some single-story brick homes with attached garages that are open, new roofs. It doesn't look impoverished. It looks nice out here and it's scenic. It actually looks like a prospering area at first glance. It doesn't look like it would be a failed place, but people have left. We're going to drive right through town and try to figure out this situation. Town used to be 48% white in 2010. Now it's down to 42% white. The black population has remained about the same. Asian population has declined. Latino population has almost doubled. So as other races are leaving, Latinos are moving in. Now that increase in the Latino community could signal a turning point. Gorgeous little Cape Cod houses here on the left. They're small, but they're cute. No lights on that trailer. Virginia. Sorry.
Remember, there's children watching.
I didn't do it on purpose, and I didn't do it at all. I know. I threw an R in there for some reason. There is an R in there. What did I? Oh, it's the I at the end that I missed.
Beginning.
I missed something, but
Yeah.
think about it, there's 13,000 people here today, and there was 10,000 people in 1940, 1930. I mean, look at the growth of this town. What the crap is that? In 1910, there was 3,000 people. By 1920, there was 4,000. 1930, 7,000. 1940, 10,000. 1950, 17,000. 1960s, 18,000. 1970s, 20,000. But since the 70s, they lost 7%, 10%, 4%, 10%, recently 2%. So The good thing is that in 2020, that 2% means a reversal. And it could just be that, like I said, that doubling in the Hispanic population could signal not the start of growth, but the impediment of loss. Just a standstill. That somebody's filling in the void that other people are leaving behind. Many people in this part of the country feel like it's people are coming to take, but in reality, it's people are coming to fill in the void that's needed in these communities. This area has a high overdose death rate. Some of the highest in the country are in this part of Appalachia, and it's not so much that people are coming to take, but that many of the people here, not all of them, aren't producing anything for society. They're just taking up space with their addiction. And there's a few things that plague this area, from addiction to the deterioration of the American family. Family size is smaller than it's ever been. Single family households. The standard family doesn't exist as it used to. When you think about who's living the American dream now, who's having children, who's buying homes and building houses, it's actually those immigrants that are moving in that are having children. Immigrants that are moving in that are buying houses and having... What the American dream was in the 50s, the only people that are analytically and demographically living the dream of the America of the 1950s that many people miss is the Latino communities. They're the ones that are buying houses, starting businesses, having larger families. And in that regard, it's interesting that what's becoming of America is what people are pushing away, even though it is demographically more like what America used to be. The family structure aspect of it, which is what leads to better situations. So it's interesting how people are repugnant of the things that create the circumstances they want for their communities. Interesting aspects. But again, when the people that are from here are leaving, it leaves little to desire for people that are from somewhere else. Driving through this town, it's hard to tell that they're losing population. I do see a lot of really expensive sports cars, Dodge Chargers, and
Rural King over there,
like
behind the Starbucks.
Rural King.
Behind the Starbucks.
I've always liked Rural Kings. They bring affordable products to America. But I went to the town in Ohio where they make the stuff, and the people there hate the company. And I've always wondered, it's like people push back from the things that make America America, and the things that benefit us in general. A lot of people push back and dislike it. We're south of Roanoke, north of Charlotte. We are in the western tip of West Virginia. And when I say West Virginia, I mean the western part of Virginia. The state of West Virginia is to the northwest of us. To the direct west of us is Kentucky, Tennessee, and of course good old North Carolina to the south of us. We're in the western tip of Virginia, if that makes more sense. Large African American population here. Pretty soon the African American population will be larger than the white population in this town. Interesting, the black population hasn't grown by percentage. It's just kind of stayed stagnant. Captain Tom's, it looks like an old Ryan's building there. Just remember the Ryan's buffets that used to be all across America? It's a shame they failed. They were great. Are there any left anywhere in America? Probably not.
No, they went out. The whole company went bankrupt.
We went to some of the last ones that were open in Tennessee, or
remember when we were living in Alabama,
She remembers.
we saw...
You're gonna take a right turn up ahead.
Okay. We saw Ryan's.
Greensboro Road.
Okay. And it was the last one that we saw
Where at?
open. Ryan's, when we were heading to Nashville when we lived in Alabama.
Yeah. It might be a
And
right.
we said we
Actually,
should-
it's a straight. It's a straight. I'm sorry. See if we can get back over with the car behind you. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. It's I didn't really realize crossing the Smith River here. I didn't really realize what. Oh, look at what cool bridge. and
Oh,
waterfall.
wow. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I get a picture of you passing that. So your mom can see it later. Let her know I'm taking care of her Katie real good. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
No, it's a scenic area. The houses are beautiful. Again, it's hard to understand. Hard to understand. We're driving into town, and I think we're gonna pass on eating here. I couldn't find any restaurants worth going to.
Yeah. We'll go the one that we plotted out for later.
Yeah, well, I'm starving. I wish I could eat earlier.
And plus, we should probably get to the town where we're staying.
I gotta turn off the music so I can hear the Los Dos de Tamaulipas needs to get turned down so I can hear the travel directions. Yeah, it does look like kind of empty and abandoned here. We're turning in a mile right on Broad Street or Board Street.
Why am I turning on Broad?
You're just gonna do what it says,
Okay.
and you're gonna be happy doing what it says. Okay? You're not gonna question. It does look kind of sad and abandoned, to be honest. It does. It does resemble a ghost town almost. There's several Mexican restaurants, but I suspect they're what I call Alabambas. They're very Americanized versions of Mexican food, and we don't like that. At least I don't. I don't know if Katie likes it. Do you like it?
Depends
I could
on
do
the
it
one.
once in a while, but it isn't.
It
I'm
really,
like yeah.
it really depends on the restaurant and who's cooking it. I mean, if it turns out good.
I could do Alabama every once in a while.
Well, I'm just not in the mood for it.
Yeah.
It's a very distinct flavor you have to be in the mood for.
Yeah. They have a lot of old cars here.
Yes.
I don't think I've been anywhere in America where I've seen so many old cars. They really do hold on to old cars and stuff like that. You're getting yelled. Wow, we're getting road rage, really?
Yeah.
Drug, you know those you heard? I don't know if you guys heard them screaming profanities at us, but a lot of, and that's the second time today already. So what happens in this area? The people are really drugged up, and they're very angry at the world. Again, this area has a lot of problems. Addiction being at the heart of it means that people are angry. They're not sober, so they're gonna act like that. You weren't driving that bad. You weren't doing anything that horrendous.
No.
If you did, I'd be yelling at you.
I know.
But people are just angry at the world, and it stems from their addiction. Their lives are out of control. And if people, imagine you're just driving through this town, somebody's screaming profanities at you. That's not uncalled for. You can honk the horn at somebody to keep it moving if it's really a driving issue. But it's not. It's an addiction issue. You can see why people would want to. You're turning right here. You can see why people want to leave this town. Who wouldn't want to leave a town? If you're living in a town where you're just driving down the road, minding your business, and somebody's so angry they're screaming profanities at you, that doesn't leave much to desire. It makes you not want to be in that place. Go slow with it. You're not used to driving on roads like this. Tight, huh? Yeah, we gotta be careful. Make sure you don't drive off. You're driving off the road. Easy. Kid driving to the stop. You're gonna hit the posts. They're building something there. New apartments, maybe. At least residential. That's a good sign. A abandoned building there, but somebody threw rocks and broke the windows. And that's really the story. I can just see abandoned buildings in all directions. Sadly, the story of most of these towns, just abandonment. And, if you're just driving around town, people are driving by yelling profanities at you, it doesn't leave
Okay,
the
can
desire.
you look at the map and...
Don't worry about the maps, just drive.
Okay.
It's a random, I just randomly threw the pins on, just relax.
Okay.
Downtown's up ahead, you're gonna take a left when you get to the main street.
Okay.
It ends, you have to take a right and then a left.
Okay.
Just relax. You can also take a right here if you want to.
Right here?
Mm-hmm. Oh. But you can see by, nothing warrants screaming. You'll take a left.
At that light?
Yeah. Nothing warrants, wow, the whole town's abandoned. Oh my. You should catch that street. Like every house had plywood on the
Like
windows.
where no.
Yep. Down there.
Okay.
The little street right here. Just like take a left. You look down that street, every single house is boarded up.
Yeah.
You'll take a left here, and then you'll take on Church Street. You can take a left or Main. It might be a one-way. Go. That's him right. Jumps on you.
He's letting me go.
Yeah. So eventually you'll be able to take a left on either on Church. Might be a one-way. I'm not sure if it's a one-way or not, but you'll be able to take a left either on Church or Main.
How about Maine?
Yeah, Main makes sense. Yeah, it's crazy. I just looked down the street, and every house had plywood on the windows. It's like, wow. They are building new stuff, though. Somebody's trying to make something out of something here. It's a one-way, so you'll take Main Street. That is the weirdest placement for a stoplight I've ever seen. That's a first for me right there. People's cars are just so unkept as well. It's just people just have a really bad aspect to them. Like almost every car's like all crashed up. Go, Katie, go. Go. I'll be the next left. That'll be Main Street. We're an hour from Roanoke if you want to be somewhere better.
Yeah. Let's go there.
Let's get out of here. Yeah, we'll get something to eat in Roanoke. I looked at all the restaurants here and it just didn't. Places like this just suck. Oh, careful with that car. Oh, you're good.
I had it right away.
Yeah. Places like this just suck 360. They really do. They suck all the way around. Even going out to go to a restaurant and the service usually sucks. The people are in a bad mood. Be careful with people trying to open the door and get hit by you on purpose.
Yeah.
Times like this just they suck 360. They really do. You're usually dealing with either like people trying to get hit on purpose, or you go to a restaurant and the service sucks, or they take an hour to make your food because they're lazy. Just like towns like this, it's the same old story all across America. And it's horrible. It's taking it right here.
Right where the car went?
Right. I don't know why the volume's not doing what it's supposed to. And then see the map in front of you? Just go straight.
Where the car's going?
Right, look at the map in front of you. It's in front of you.
Okay.
What's it telling you to do?
Keep going.
Okay. Make sure you don't hit that curb. It's like a blind.
At the light, turn left onto Liberty Street.
There we go. Liberty Street, turn left. Looks kind of vacant and sad. There were people in the center of the city. There's people.
800 feet, turn left onto Commonwealth Boulevard West.
And then there's always people that blame, they blame everything on the coal or some other industry. I don't believe in that.
Turn
crap.
left onto Commonwealth Boulevard
I've traveled.
West.
Could have gone, but no, you can't.
I can't. Yeah.
They always blame somebody, the industry's left, or this or that. It's the United States of America. I don't believe, and I know this is gonna anger a lot of people here in Appalachia, but I've been all over the country, and you can go, you could go. I've been all over America, and I know this is going to anger the people in Appalachia to hear this, but this is what I believe is true. I don't
Continue
think
on
it's the lack of
Commonwealth
industry.
Boulevard
I think
west
it's
for
the
1.5
people's
miles.
crappy attitudes. Who would want to live in a place like this? Like, you just saw that car randomly cursing Katie out or screaming. What is the... It's... Who wants to be around people like that? Even the people that are from here leave. I'm looking around here and I see potential for industry. If I moved here, if I lived here, I wouldn't want to. But if I lived here, I would make a business. I would have a hustle. I would find a way to make money here. There's ways. Look at all those cars there. What is that? A Walmart? What is that?
Joanne, Maurice,
Look at that
Bell,
freaking packed, man. Look at these cars.
Kroger,
Look at all those brand
Marshalls.
new. Yeah, look at those brand new Ford trucks right there. This is the United States of America. If you can't make it in the United States of America, there's something wrong with you. I lived in rural Alabama. I'll give you an example. Here's the poorest states in America. Number one, poorest state in America is Mississippi. I lived near Mississippi and Alabama. I spent a lot of time in Mississippi when I lived in Alabama. Mississippi, West Virginia, Alabama, Louisiana, Arkansas are the poorest states in America, right? Roughly. Oklahoma, Kentucky, follow up next. These are the poorest states in America. I lived in Alabama, one of the poorest states, one of like fourth poorest state in America or something like that. I made more money in Alabama than I did in Naples, Florida. And in Naples, I don't know if you guys know this, in Naples, Florida, this is where Donald Trump has houses, Rick Scott. This is where every billionaire on earth has a house down there, okay? I used to run into Judge Judy going to get Mexican food across the street, you know? So, there's a lot of famous people. Tim McGraw, I think, had a house down there. All those people. Look at... Yeah, is this your phone or mine?
I don't know.
Let's look up. Famous people
It's
live in
my
Naples.
phone.
There's a lot of money in Naples, and it's one of the richest cities in America. There's over 1,000 houses in Naples for sale. If you go on Realtor, at any given moment, you go on Realtor.com, just so you can understand how much money there is in Naples, Florida. Okay, if you go on Realtor.com at any given moment, there are over 1,000 houses over $1 million for sale in Naples. Listen to that. You heard the figure? At any given moment, you can go on Realtor.com, right, Naples, Florida, and there will be over 1,000 houses that are worth $1 million in the city of Naples. That's a lot of money. Okay?
That used to be Ryan's.
Famous people live there. I made more money in the fourth poorest state in America. It was easier to make money in Alabama than it was in Naples. Alright? So I've lived in one of the poorest states, Alabama, and I've lived in one of the richest cities, Naples. It was actually easier for me to make money living in Alabama. It's not that there aren't opportunities in poor America.
Right onto US 220 Business
It's that
North,
the
Virginia
people
Avenue.
are lazy. The people don't have ambitions as a writer like Tupac did, man. I don't want to hear this crap of rural Appalachia. Well, the businesses left and the coal mine closed down. You live in the United States of
Make a
America.
business.
At the light, turn right onto US 220
Man,
Business
if I lived
North,
out here, I'd be
Virginia
a
Avenue.
millionaire. I just don't want to live around these types of people. When I lived in Alabama, I told you guys, if I stayed in Alabama for 4 years, in 4 years I would have been a millionaire. But they ran me out because I'm Hispanic. There you go. That's the answer to your question. Why don't we have successful people? Look, somebody panhandling over there. Make sure you look to the left before you turn. Go, you got your light.
Yeah.
Somebody panhandling over there. Right.
Continue on US
That's,
220 Business North for 4
Parada.
miles.
That might actually be a better Mexican restaurant right there, but I'm not gonna eat Mexican. I don't want to hear this garbage story of poverty in Appalachia. I don't want to hear it. I've lived in Appalachia. I lived in the part of Alabama that's part of Appalachia. Elmore County is part of Appalachia. I saw why these people in this part of the country live in poverty. You know why they live in poverty? Because if they make too much money, they'll take away their food stamps. That's simple. I used to tell my neighbors all the time, I'm like, yo, man, just make some money, man. Start working. You know, fix up your hat. Watch that curb. Well, I look, here's a homeless camp right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a homeless camp. I'd go in there and talk to them, hang out with them. There's homelessness here. That's a homeless camp underneath the bridge right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. And then the people that live here talk about there's homelessness in large cities. Look at this. It's a small town. You got homeless people everywhere. Imagine a town. Here's the crazy thing about this. Imagine a town where the population is 50% of what it used to be, yet you have homelessness. How do you have homelessness? I bet, is that a squad truck? Yeah, but he's doing something right. At least the guy with the squatted truck is working to buy rims. At least he's got some ambitions as a rider. You know what I mean? Like Tupac. How can you be homeless? What's a rent gotta cost in this town? $600 a month? I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, we were in Greensboro. What were rents over there? $600. They got better economy than here.
Yeah.
Salon de Belleza. Look, the only business in town I've seen so far. You know what's crazy? There's probably 20 Mexicans are 6% of the population and 10% of the businesses here. What's that tell you? There's about 7 or 8 Mexican restaurants in this town. What does that tell you? We looked through all of them. What's this right here? Another Mexican restaurant. Everything's the only people that have restaurants are Mexicans. I'm not even in the mood for Mexican food right now. I don't want Mexican food. What's that right there? Elizabeth's Pizza, one American restaurant. Dollar store. The Dollar General opened up a market.
Italian.
When the cookout over here, cookout's pretty good. I'm not in the mood for that. This guy just went right on red. Why are these people? Are they late to work? Do they have a 3-hour commute and they're in a rush? Why are these people in a rush, dude? Here's another pizza place right there.
Yeah.
In the jars. It almost.
I'm going to.
Those chains look like Jews. I think they did that on purpose. I'm almost certain they did that on purpose. Those G's look like G's. Almost certain they did that on purpose. Is it
You can make it. I'm good. Put in the place.
Yeah. I don't want to hear this rural Appalachia crap, dude. Like, I lived in Appalachia. I lived in Alabama. Everything, the county that I lived in, everything was like this. Businesses are closing left and right. You know, if you start a business and you can find workers, you're going to be successful. What are your thoughts on living in rural Appalachia, Alabama, Katie?
Weird.
Yeah.
They don't look.
Go into the spa zone. Go in here. Trust me. Trust me. You'll see it when you see it.
Gotta be kidding.
Are you
me.
Make a
Pull up in front
U-turn,
of us so we can
then
see.
turn right onto US 220
What?
Business North,
You
Virginia
don't have to.
Avenue.
You can just do this right here. It doesn't matter. There's nobody out here.
Their
I'm sorry.
Family Dollar is closing, and everything
bad.
is on sale.
Dude, what is it now? 50 cents instead of $1? Show here for a minute. That's what am I looking at here? Did he try to match? Get me out of here.
Oh my gosh, please.
Now that's what's up. He's got an ATV right there. ATV. Look at the old school Toyota. There's a lot of old cars here. Like, I would go on the other end of that plaza so you don't get that light. Go this way.
At the
Go
light,
right.
turn right onto US 220 Business North, Virginia Avenue.
Mexicans are like 6% of the population and like 30% of the business. What's this in front of us?
Billiards.
Billiards. Okay.
Continue on US 220 Business North for 2 miles.
Bro, I tell you, like when I lived in rural Appalachia in Alabama, I couldn't believe
Head southwest toward Virginia
the
Avenue.
people, they're
then
so
turn
lazy,
right
like-
onto US 220 Business North.
luckily in Alabama,
Turn
the
right onto
whole
US 220
addiction
Business
thing
North,
isn't as
Virginia
bad.
Avenue.
but there's a lot of moonshine and
Continue on
drinking.
US 220 Business North for 2 miles.
There's a lot of drinking and alcoholism in Alabama. But luckily for Alabama, the addiction that like you have here in the O is bad up here. And now the O is basically the F. You know, you can't really find pure anything anymore. And they're making it here in the United States, but Fox News tells them it's coming from Mexico. It's not coming from Mexico. It's a lie. I got friends in law enforcement and people that I talk to in law enforcement as well, and they're telling me that it's being made in the United States, and it's chemically. If you analyze it when they do the test, you know, when they find product, they have to do a test to see what it is. And my cop friends are telling me that the F, you can find it by looking for the M or the O because it's all engineered the same way. What's that telling you? That it's being made the same way. You know, it's not like gonna be like a shake and bake operation, but it's being made here in the United States. And you know, they tell you it's coming from China, it's coming from Mexico. They just keep perpetrating the racism. And but if you talk to law enforcement in larger metropolitan areas, they're telling you that it's all chemically the same compounds almost. In other words, there's trace elements of the same predecessors in all of these compounds, which would let you know it's not coming the way people think it is. I don't know about here, but in Florida, 30 to 40% is that type of mix. But again, it's coming from Mexico, it's coming from China. No, it's being made here in the United States. And if it is coming to the United States, it's coming to port cities. It's not coming to the border. It's coming through legitimate infrastructure, but they're not going to touch airports. They're not going to touch rail. They're not going to touch shipping. You know, one of those big boats that pulls up to a dock has 40,000 container ships. You know, and of course, you know, something that big, they're buying people off, and it's a lot of lies, you know. And the problem with move up about a foot base so these people can pass you. There you go. There's a lot of lies of what the problem is. 100,000 Americans are dying. Look, cops are pulling somebody over there. See a lot of like police activity right there. Cops got somebody pulled over. There's a lot of lies being perpetrated about what's really happening in the United States. It's like, instead of telling people, hey man, this stuff's being made here, or telling people, hey, you know, international trade. Another problem, you know, it's these import tariffs. You know, inflation comes from that. They don't want to admit that. The Chinese are going to pay. We're going to put a tax. We're going to put an import tariff, and the Chinese are going to pay for it. That's not true. If you put let's say Walmart, 80% of the stuff you buy at Walmart or at the Dollar General comes from China. So if you put an import tariff on it, who's going to pay that import tariff? China's going to pay that? No, stupid, you will, because Walmart pays $1 for something. Okay? Let's say Walmart gets something for $1. Now there's a 10% import tariff. So now they're not paying $1. Now they're paying $1.10 because of the import tariff. The import tariff is not paid by the person who produces, stupid. I don't know if you understand. Because these are people, they don't understand how the world works. They live up here in these mountains in a trailer smoking meth, and they don't understand how trade works. They don't understand how the economy works. They don't understand how anything other than a crack pipe works. And then they're being told, well, no, it's an import tariff. The Chinese are going to have to pay more money. No, they're not. Who's the importer? Do you think the importer is a Chinese person or a Chinese entity? The importer is Walmart. The importer is the one paying the import tax, those tariffs that they're putting on other countries. It's the United States that's paying for that.
In a quarter mile, take
So
the
when
US
Walmart,
220 North ramp to
with the
Roanoke.
door down, when Walmart has to pay $1.10 instead of $1, now Walmart has two options. They can absorb, taking a right on 220 right up there. Walmart can pass on that tariff to the customer and inflation, or Walmart can lose money. Which one do you think they're going to choose? You think Walmart's gonna lose money? No, in freaking inflation. Balloon.
Head west toward Martin
And those
Heights.
are taxes. Now, the same people that tell you we're against taxes, you know, we don't want taxes. And I'm not telling you to go
Take the
vote
US
Republican or
220
Democrat.
north
That's not what I'm
ramp,
saying.
Then merge onto US 220 north.
I'm not telling. Understand what is happening around the world around you. I'm not telling you should go vote Democrat. I don't care. I'm not a registered voter. I'm never going to be a registered voter.
Continue
If I
for
had to
45
register to vote
miles.
Republican or Democrat, I would go to prison because I am politically neutral. I would rather go to prison than go to a voting booth because I don't believe in the politics of the world. I don't believe in it.
Let me
I'm
say
neutral.
this. If you go grocery shopping in America, you should understand how the grocery store gets itself and what's going to make the prices go up.
Right. So, again, I'm not telling you to go vote this or vote that. That's not the solution.
No.
I'm not telling you to go vote. I'm not telling. I'm politically neutral, and if this country ever came to the point where you had to register to vote one way or the other, I would go to prison because I wouldn't vote. My dad did 5 years in prison in a communist country, Cuba, to ensure that we wouldn't be part of the mess of this world. So I'm not telling you to vote. I'm not telling you should vote one way or the other. Because that's what you're hearing right now. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is understand how things actually work. And don't get your information from a political news network because they're only going to tell you what they want you to think, what they're controlling you. Bad. Now, I say that so you understand the same people that tell you we're not going to tax you, they are taxing you. Now, they're not taxing you through taxes. They're taxing you through inflation. And this has been happening in the United States for a very long time now. This isn't new. You're being taxed by inflation for a long time. Listen, you got tax brackets. If incomes go up, and you know, you should know what parties do this and what parties do that. I shouldn't have to tell you that. But there's one party that makes higher incomes. That's why the big cities have higher incomes than the rural areas. If the incomes go up and the tax brackets don't change, you're more likely to get taxed at a higher rate. My standard of living ain't better than it was 10 years ago, but my tax bracket is different. So, you're not being taxed on a government level. You're being taxed on a tariff in the sales price, in the inflation. The price that you're paying to that company and that product, that inflated price that you're paying, that is the taxes. Because now, if a company, instead of selling $1 million, they sell 1.7, now there's more to tax in general. And then there's also a higher tax bracket if there's a profit margin there. And it doesn't affect the rich people, it affects the working class people. But again, people live underneath a rock or something. I don't know. This is a beautiful region of the country and of the world, really. Appalachia is one of the most beautiful places in the world, but it's steeped in a lot of bad things. Addiction, laziness, procrastination. You know? It isn't even working for the people that are from here. Even the people that are from here have to go somewhere else, not because they want to, but because even they have had enough of this area. I have a lot of people from Appalachia that live in other states that love my YouTube channel, and they understand exactly what I'm talking about because they saw the big picture and they left. And I wouldn't want for Appalachia to be a failure. I would want Appalachia, because of its natural beauty alone, I would want Appalachia to be the best place to live in the United States. It's a beautiful area. Why wouldn't you want to live here? It ain't the nature, ain't nothing wrong with the trees, ain't nothing wrong with the rivers, ain't nothing wrong with the mountains. It ain't the mountains, it ain't the rivers, it's gorgeous up here. It's the people that make it unbearable. And the Appalachian people have some great characteristics. They do. They're caring, they're kind, they have great characteristics. But unfortunately, they've been plagued with vermins, we could call of society, that have been chewing up this region endlessly. And at this point, the only solution that this area of the country has is, since you're failing, is to let somebody who's not failing come here and do something better. Beautiful region of the country, plagued with a lot of problems. I'm gonna end the video. Kate, is there anything else you want to say about this area?
Beautiful area. There's some issues going on here.
Yeah. And not much different than other places, minus the exodus of population, the exodus of people here. It's unfortunate. Check it out.